let's go back to like the really high value guys, okay? That if you divorced him, you're fucking his life up big time. His business that he built for a decade, you're taking a lot of stuff that he worked very hard on. He gave you his last name, he gave you his genetics, something that's going to be gone in less than 100 years, okay? This is a big deal, a man's legacy.
Big problem with men in between the ages, I want to say like 25 to 35, that's like jumping from pillow to post because the woman figures out that, oh, he's not really where he's at in life, or he wants more than what she has to offer because she's the one who's offering. He's not really into things, having babies with this woman, like you said, and having babies over here with this woman. That's really bad out there in where I'm from. Coming here is a totally different story. These men out here are my age, 35 to 40, and they don't have no kids. They've never been married, and then they meet a woman like me who's like
Wanting
a little common
stuff.
sense. Yeah, have a little common sense and know her boundaries. And they're like, oh, one man I met a few months ago, he went on dates, 2 dates with him. And on the third date, so this is a matter of a month and a half. On the third date, this man actually offered for me to go on his lease and come live with him. Scared the shit out of me. Like it got weird,
Yeah.
So I could say like it depends, like you said too, to me it depends on your age, you know what I'm trying to say, because it gets weird out there.
Yeah, well, it just sucks so bad. Like I always have to say, there's a lot of good women. There's not a lot of good men. There's not a lot. It's a very small number. And even if you do find a guy that you think is good, it's literally just a matter of time before he reveals something that's not good. It's just a matter of time. He's liking 1 million girls' pictures. He follows fucking 300 OnlyFans girls on Instagram. Like, there's just so many things. There's so many factors that just make a guy not worthy of a relationship, like I also say, guys are emasculated as fuck. Like, you know how hard it is to be a man. Like, my father easily could pay all the bills. Like, easily could like be that guy. Like I keep talking about like that guy. He could easily be that guy. Most guys today can't be that guy. They're struggling to buy a new tire sometimes when there's a flat. Like, they're struggling to like do normal things. And this is all the devaluation of the dollar. Like, I don't like starting a war between the men and women, because the real people that we should be fighting is the 1%. The powers that be. They're the ones that fucking put us in this position where they're the ones who started feminism. They're the ones who got feminism to the point where the women are out earning men in major cities, where the women are 67% of the college graduates. Like,
but these men are lazy.
Well, I mean, yes, I agree with you. Like I said, like on the bell curve, there's more stupid men. So like when we look at the bell curve, there's a lot of like men on the very shitty bottom of side of it. Okay, a lot. Like, it's a way higher percentage. There's more average women. And then there's guys on the stream. There's really rich, badass guys, and there's really poor, shitty guys. Like, most of the homeless are men. Okay, so like on the bell curve, you got a bunch of women in the middle, and like y'all are fighting over these top guys while complaining about these really shitty guys. And like, and the really sad thing is, because of like the traits that are attractive to women, like the reason why they're attracted to sociopaths and murderers and stuff like that. That's how they sometimes end up with these bottom guys. And they get ruined by them, or they end up with the top guys get ruined by them. There's a bunch of normies in the middle that never get a chance. And it's because they're just too normal. Like, one of the things I have to teach guys, because I coach men, you have to keep your girl, like, this sounds fucked up and toxic, but you got to keep your girl on her toes all the time. Like, and it sounds so fucked up, but I do. I have to constantly keep my girl on her toes and like have her chasing me all the time, or else it's not going to work. Like, you can't be peaceful. If you want to sit there and be peace with your girl all the time, she's gonna get bored and go to the guy that stresses her out.
You mean because like that's what dating she likes in the relationship?
No, I'm talking about like even in like we live together. Like, even when you're in a relationship, I have to annoy her. Like, I have to do certain things to like neg. Like, you have to do certain things to like make them always annoyed or just pissed. Like, it sounds fucked up. I know this sounds so fucked up, but it's just the truth is, if you're not emotionally stimulating her, she'll go to somebody who will emotionally stimulate her. Because like, y'all just want emotional stimulation. Like, you don't want somebody that's boring, like, at all.
Yeah.
And that's why those boring guys get left on the bench all the fucking time. I know y'all know tons of guys that own houses, got nice cars, can pay for everything, they do all the stuff, but they're boring.
So do you think most men like boring women?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
So we have something called the Madonna whore complex. So like where a lot of guys will want the Madonna, want the really good girl that's like at home all the time, but then they also want the whore. And a lot of guys have this issue, and I have to teach so many men to get their head out of this shit because it's something that a lot of guys have an issue with. They'll have a perfect girl at home, but she's not hypersexual. She's not like the BPD girl that they were with fucking a year before that was crazy as fuck and sucked dick like a fucking vacuum. You know, like they get this Madonna whore complex because they're like, damn, this girl's so perfect, but I missed that. And the next thing you know, they cheat or they go to the whore, and that's not really what they love. They love the Madonna. They love the wife. And sometimes they want the wife to act like the whore, but it's not true.
But that's what we just was talking about, like a woman that makes you want that back again, and then you go crave for it, like in another woman, right?
Yeah, but so I don't think that you can always fight it off. Like I think a lot of guys have that Madonna whore complex. Like if a guy has slept with a girl that has BPD or has any of those things, and they give him this crazy sexual experience, he's always going to have that Madonna whore complex because he's always going to know in the back of his head that there's women out here that are willing to do way crazier shit than his girl's willing to do right now. And like this is why like a lot of people are damaged today, guys. We got to avoid a lot of damaged people. Like that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. And to discern this, when the guy's going to lie to you all day long and never admit that, y'all are screwed. You can't figure it out. Like
So we were right
what?
about when a man does have a certain situation with a woman, and then he wants that back again, and then he craves for it again.
I don't think so. No, like I don't think he won't crave it with that same girl. Like he won't be alpha widowed by one girl. Like maybe he'll crave another blowjob like that one, but it's not gonna be just from that girl. Whereas a girl can be alpha widowed by a singular guy.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, but I mean, I hate to say it, and it might sound crazy and toxic and stuff, but I try to think, positive thoughts because what you think is what you get.
Right.
But at the same time, too, I feel like I try to be a realist, and I don't want to, like, I'd rather accept my fate and not be an old, bitter woman. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather, accept my fate, like, okay, I'm probably just, and I think I'm wifey material. Me personally, I think I'm the best thing going. Like, honestly, I'm fun, I'm loyal, I'm freaky, I can make my money, I can cook, I can dress, all of it. Mm-hmm. I have my flaws, too. I have my flaws, too, but for the most part, definitely, I feel like characteristics is a 10 across the board. But a lot of times I feel like I'm never going to get married because I'm just not the bored. I'm just not boring like that. Like, I can sit my ass at home. I can do stuff like that. But if I want to wear something not too provocative or too crazy, I just don't like to feel controlled. And I feel like that's an issue for me because you do have to like learn how to be controlled when it comes to a man. And
if you want to walk into his frame,
yeah, I understand, compromising. Like I'm all for that. Like if you tell me, hey, I don't really like when you wear things like that, yeah, I'm gonna listen to you.
Yeah, both people compromise. Remember, he's compromising too on some things. Like this is what's fucked up today is a man compromises his sexual strategy in a relationship, but the woman doesn't. Because what happens in relationships today is the woman usually keeps her Instagram, usually still gets DMs from tons of guys, usually still posts provocative pictures. Y'all get to enact on y'all's sexual strategy all day long because y'all don't chase. Men come to you. But a guy in a relationship, we are completely not allowed to enact on our sexual strategy at all. If you're a guy in a relationship and you're DMing girls, you're doing anything like that, oh no, it's fucking cheating. But women all day long will sit there and y'all are allowed to have y'all sexual strategy still open completely. Now don't get me wrong, there's some girls that close their accounts or make it private or delete all the guys off. So like my girlfriend's a perfect example of a woman that doesn't have a big crazy Instagram, doesn't have a bunch of guys on Instagram. So yeah, there's definitely some good girls out there. But for the most part, most women today, y'all sexual strategy is completely open while in a relationship because you're not pursuing. And so, like, there's a lot of guys online, like Myron from Fresh and stuff. He will say all day long, guys should be liking pictures while in relationships. Guys should be doing all this stuff because y'all are in y'all sexual, doing y'all shit all the time. And I would argue with them, why the fuck are y'all with women that have fucking 3,000 followers on Instagram or Instagram models? Like, hey, don't take it personally.
See, that's the thing. I think I brought that up last time. I feel like for women, like that's what we have. That's what makes us a woman. It's not always about, oh, I'm trying to seek validation or, oh, I want this guy.
What do you mean that's what makes you a woman? I'm confused.
Like embracing your sexiness or whatever makes you feel sexy in whatever regards. It's not always for a guy's pleasure. It's just that's about what comes with
that is the devil telling you that validation that you're getting from it.
No, you're not. When we do it, we don't seek validation.
That is a lie. That is something that okay.
I guess you got a coochie.
No, I'm just telling you that every woman says exactly what you just said. But I've had tons of women on the panel that will say honestly and say, yeah, it is for validation.
Some women, yes,
No,
but
but
not
you
all.
got to understand it's subliminal. There's so much stuff that goes on today that you're never going to do it on purpose. It's never going to be just like you're going to consciously think about it. It's something that is y'all want to be seen. Like women want to be seen. This has been throughout all of history. Like another thing, shout out to Rollo. He always talks about in his book, what do women do whenever they're protesting or doing anything? They take their clothes off. The number one thing that women do when they want attention or anything, whether it's protesting, whatever the fuck it is, take your clothes off. That's what y'all's agency is, your sexuality, okay? And
right, but it all goes to how you use it and your intentions.
And I'm telling you right now though, like loyalty, I just told y'all, loyalty to a man is everything. We couldn't tell if the baby was ours, all this stuff. We make guard, we do all these things. How do you think you'd show loyalty? Do you think loyalty is just sex?
No, yeah, it's about being modest. You have to tone stuff down. But what I'm
there's
saying
multiple.
is
So even your Instagram is a version of that, though. Even the guys DMing you, all that stuff is a version of loyalty. And if a guy who has a lot to lose, we're gonna once again let's go back to like the really high value guys, okay? That if you divorced him, you're fucking his life up big time. His business that he built for a decade, you're taking a lot of stuff that he worked very hard on. He gave you his last name, he gave you his genetics, something that's going to be gone in less than 100 years, okay? This is a big deal, a man's legacy, okay? These guys, they're going to give a fuck about your Instagram. They're going to give a fuck about those things because they have a lot to lose. It's damage mitigation, okay? We need to mitigate because we have a lot to lose. The average man, he got nothing to fucking lose. I bet he's the type that will go fight a hobo in the street too. Like he has nothing to lose. But the guys who got a lot to lose, you're walking into his frame. You're walking into his rules. If you don't want to follow him, like that's fine.
What about the men that
that's basically what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What about
I follow my own rules, and this just is what.
Hey y'all, Sergio here. I just want to mention I've created a completely free guide that shows you exactly how I went from having low confidence and being painfully awkward around women to easily meeting and dating numerous high quality desirable women in real life without the use of any dating apps or social media. So if you're struggling to get out there, if you have approach anxiety or don't know what to say or how to interact with women to make them want you and are sick of using dating apps with low value girls that hundreds of other guys have been chatting with, click the link in the description below to grab your free guide right now. And if you want private mentorship with me personally to help guide you every step of the way in this process, check out my mentorship program in the description too. I would be happy to help you reach your dating goals and overcome any obstacle you may face. And trust me, if I can do it, you can do it too. I hope to see you soon. Peace out.